The world is not out to get you. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. This is my crazy hair. I really badly need a haircut. And thank you, as always, to the people who subscribe, all 21 of you. It's good to have you. Glad to have you in for this conversation. Today we're going to talk about what I see as the troubling trend, and I've probably talked about this before, but I'm going to reiterate what I see as a troubling trend, which is this idea that keeps floating around out there that everybody is out to get you. Sort of like the trend you see of like, don't worry about the haters, your only competition is in the mirror. A, haters don't exist. B, it is true, your only competition is in the mirror. The only one you need to focus on is you. But why do I see this as a troubling trend rather than just as like a motivational trend? If you walk around all day, first of all, if you walk around all day thinking about other people, that must be exhausting. I don't know how you do it. Go to bed. Get some sleep. You might feel better. Take a shower. You might feel better. But when you walk around all day and you see enemies everywhere, that's not good for your mind. Like, there are no enemies. There's get the thought out of your head that there's people who are hating on what you're doing. They're not. Even the mean commenters on Instagram aren't hating what you're doing. They're bored. They don't have a hobby. Their hobby is commenting mean things on Instagram to try and get attention. They're not doing it to be mean to you. They're doing it to bring attention to themselves in the best way they know how. Now, granted, it's not a winning strategy of a way to bring attention to themselves, but it is a strategy. If you walk around all day thinking that these people are your enemy, you're the only one suffering. It's your problem, not theirs. Look, you might say to yourself, well, the haters help motivate me. That means you're motivated literally only by the scorn of other people. It means you have no discipline. Look, motivation comes and goes. Because at some point, you're going to reach a place where you're surrounded by people who love you. People who love you, who care about you. So where's your motivation then? The haters are gone, or you've insulated yourself from the haters. That motivation disappears. Am I being a little hyperbolic? Probably. Somewhere does someone exist who probably dislikes you? I mean, probably. Probably. But 99.99% of the people in the world don't really hate anyone. We've talked about before on this podcast the concept of whether or not evil people exist, and my discussion that evil people don't really exist. Evil actions definitely exist. We've covered that. Evil actions exist. Evil people don't exist. Why? Because most evil actions, 99% of evil actions in my well-formed 10-minute anecdotal thesis, they're born of fear. In the same way, perceived hatred of you by someone is not actually born of hatred. It is born of a desire to get something else out of the interaction. And the problem is social media blows this stuff up into like if I'm being successful, there must be haters out there. This is like kind of the David Goggins style method of working out. First of all, if you hate a guy like David Goggins, you're crazy because he could probably crush you with his thumbs. You're gone. And generally speaking, you want to look at something like that and just pass over the stuff that is a little bit crazy. And it's okay to admit some of it's crazy. This ties back into my arguments against the red pill community that make me so angry. I love the red pill community for the things that it brings up that are like, go to the gym, be healthier, be a better version of yourself, better yourself. Those things are really great. And then it goes into this inane discussion of how like you need to like you're competing like freaking cavemen for, and this is the word they use, not mine, you're competing for females. First of all, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Never refer to women as females. Just don't do it. Don't refer to guys as males. We're not dogs. I'll move on from that. But again, that mentality is born out of an idea that there are people watching what you're doing and trying to directly impede your progress. People aren't trying to directly impede your progress. The advice of surround yourself with the people who are going to elevate you is good advice, but it's not good advice because those people who aren't trying to elevate you are actively trying to keep you down. They're just doing what they think is in their best interest, and they're just not helping you. At best, they're just neutral to you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you can't look at the world as enemies. This is coming up a lot in the SAG negotiations, right? The ongoing SAG strikes, the WGA strikes. First of all, actors, writers, I'm going to break something to you right now. If you think the negotiating committees of your unions actually have a problem with the AMPTP, you're crazy. These negotiating committees have been working with these studios for years on multiple contracts, on different fronts. And they have to continue to work with them in order to get deals done. This is like Congress, where the congressional committee members in public hearings are lambasting each other left and right, and then they go and get dinner or coffee afterwards. Like most of 99% of these people, it's an act. Fran Drescher got up and made a, rousing speech about having to fight back against the studios. She's the one negotiating with the studios. She has a good relationship with them. And that's good. That's a good thing. It gets us the best deal that we can, it gets us a better deal. We're on strike. That's a negotiating tactic. It's not personal. It's just business. And I hate to quote a movie where it clearly was very personal, but here's where we are. Look, if you feel like you've got to motivate yourself through the hatred of others and it betters you, I guess do what you got to do. But keep in mind, it's just not healthy for your mind and heart and soul to look around corners looking for enemies. Anybody you think is an enemy, it really isn't your enemy. They're just looking out for themselves. And yes, people suck, and their default is to step all over other people. But again, they're not doing it actually might be worse. They're not doing it because they purposely want to step on you. They're doing it because they're looking out for themselves. They're defending themselves. They're bettering themselves at your expense, but it'd be at anybody's expense, not just yours. It's perfectly okay for you to just go through life and not think of the world as hating you. It's a healthier way to go through life. You'll last longer. Trust me. Until you have absolute data and proof that somebody legitimately hates you, and that is the case with sexual assault, that's the case with harassment, those kinds of things. Don't assume somebody's against you. You don't have to assume they're for you, but at worst, they're probably neutral against you. If you keep your mindset that way, you'll develop much longer lasting discipline, and you won't be stressed all the time wondering how you're going to beat the haters today. You'll just be worried about looking in the mirror and saying, how do I beat the guy who was there yesterday? It's my 2 cents. That's all I got. If you like what I said, like and subscribe. If you don't like what I said, well, it's okay. I know you just are neutral to me, and I'm okay with it. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.